Okay, let's dive into something that's been on my mind for a while. It's uncomfortable but deeply ingrained in the way we function as a society. Babies, dogs, and women are loved unconditionally. That kind of love is freely given, no strings attached. But us, we are loved conditionally, and those conditions almost always hinge on what we can provide. Now think about that. Our value, our worth in the eyes of society is often defined by what we can offer, not who we are. If we can't provide, protect, or produce, we're dismissed or ignored. And this isn't some abstract idea, it's the reality many of us live every day. And if we step out of those roles, if we decide not to chase the traditional markers of success, life takes on a different shape. Here's an example: when we don't have a partner or children to provide for, our lives become surprisingly simple, shockingly simple. Without the weight of supporting a family, we can live a minimalist lifestyle with ease. A decent car, a modest home, and no unnecessary luxuries. All of that is achievable with less than $20,000 a year. That's a 10-hour a week part time job. Now, it's not glamorous, but it's doable. And for some, it's freedom. But let's not get it twisted. This freedom often comes at a cost. I mean, sure, we can live the so called soft life without the financial and emotional obligations of a partner or kids, but it can lack purpose. Relationships and families aren't just responsibilities, they are sources of meaning. They make the grind worthwhile. Yet, those roles come with challenges that often go unnoticed. You take housework, for example. There is a lot of talk about how women shoulder the majority of it, and in many cases they do. But housework isn't just vacuuming, cooking, or laundry. What about the work we tend to take on? Like cleaning the gutters, mowing the lawn, fixing the leaky sink, painting the house, or stacking firewood. These are just as essential to maintaining a home, but they rarely make it into the conversation. And let's not forget tech and maintenance. Who's hooking up the stereo or fixing the clogged chimney? Who's sweeping out the fireplace or trimming the bushes? These tasks often go unnoticed, while other contributions like cooking or cleaning come with visible thanks and admiration. Where is the balance? This imbalance reflects a larger issue. We've always had complementary roles, but somewhere along the line things shifted. Women were told they can have it all: work full time, raise kids, and manage a household effortlessly. But many women are now realizing that having it all often means doing it all, which is exhausting. Here's the thing: we've adjusted, we've taken on childcare, restructured our work schedules, and adapted to a world where traditional roles are constantly changing. And now, after all that, there is a growing sentiment that the whole thing was a bad deal to begin with. Some women are realizing that work, especially full time work, is hard and often thankless. But that's not news to us. We've known for centuries that work is hard. Providing for a family, putting food on the table, keeping everyone safe. It's exhausting, but it's fulfilling when it's for the people we love. That's the trade off we've always made. Historically, we've taken on the grueling, physical demanding jobs because we had to. It was the price we paid to support our families. And now there's a new term floating around: stay at home girlfriend. What even is that? It's like a modern twist on traditional roles, but without the commitment of marriage or raising a family. It's a reflection of how much priorities have shifted, but it raises questions about what we value in relationships and ourselves. Here's another thing: the working class has never had a lifestyle. That's a middle class concept tied to leisure and choice. Historically, we've done what needed to be done to survive. There was no room for indulgence. But women always had options. But us, we had obligations to provide, protect, and persevere, often without thanks. And that's the crux of it. Men and women are different, not better or worse, just different. Women have always had unique options, whether staying home to raise a family or stepping into the workforce. For us, the roles have been more rigid. It's like we were designed to complement each other, each bringing strengths that complement the other. And when that balance is respected, society thrives. But when we fight that balance, we struggle. I mean, look at the statistics. Birth rates are at record lows, particularly in places like Scandinavia, uh, because women have unprecedented freedom, right? But many are choosing not to have kids. Why? Because raising a family is hard, and fewer people are willing to make the sacrifices it demands. Somewhere along the line, we lost sight of the value of partnership, and partnership is what made it all work. Us and them side by side, playing to our strengths, respecting each other's contributions. That's what built families. That's what built communities. It built civilizations. But we started keeping score, comparing contributions instead of celebrating them. And it's left both sides feeling undervalued and overburdened. It's time to stop keeping scores. We're not competitors, we're partners. We need each other not just to survive, but to thrive. We need to feel appreciated just like they need to feel supported. And if we can respect each other's roles, then maybe we can find the balance we lost. So here's the challenge. Let's start thanking each other. Thank your partner for mowing the lawn or fixing the sink. Thank them for cooking dinner or folding the laundry. A little gratitude goes a long way. And let's not pretend that, one role is harder or more important than the other. Both are necessary, both are valuable. And at the end of the day, it's not about who does more or has it harder. It's about recognizing that we are in this together, us and them side by side, each contributing in ways only we can. And that's how we build strong families, that's how we build strong societies, and that's how we find happiness, not in competition but in cooperation. So let's get back to what works. Let's embrace our differences, respect each other's strengths, and build a future where we all feel valued because in the end, we're better together.